Hello, hey, what's up, good people, and welcome to yet another episode of our TechTrends Podcast. And today we are talking about a very interesting, actually, topic that I cover myself so much. I read so much about this topic, and one of the things that has been a very, serious enabler of how business operate here in Kenya, of course, the broader Africa, and it's about cloud technology, and of course, how players I won't actually spoil for you. I'm going to let the guest introduce himself later on. But of course, the guest we're hosting today is a very interesting person. Of course, you probably use their products. Yeah, because they're big on that, especially, if you're an SME, even a bigger business actual. So for now, I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell us who he is.
Thank you. Thank you, Nixon. Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Veerakumar. I represent Zoho for East Africa. So, a quick intro about Zoho. Zoho is a technology company. We provide business application. We provide 55 plus business application to run each and every operations of your businesses. And we have been here for quite some time. I believe if you're watching, if you're one of our customer, thank you for being our customer. If you want to become our customer, of course, you can reach out to us as well.
All right. Maybe, as we kick off, let me set the stage. What is your broader vision for Kenya as a market for you and Africa in general?
Okay, see, Zoho, as the name sounds, we are supposed to have SOHO, that's a small office, home office, and then it became Zoho because the domain was not available. We are focused predominantly, at least in the initial period, on the SMEs or enabling the SMEs across the globe. That's where we have started. Even today, in terms of number of customers, 60 to 70% of our customers are from SMEs, right? And Africa has always been one of our, a key market to focus.
Yeah.
Although we started only 5 years before that, we have always wanted to come here and then understand how cloud technology can help the customers, and then how well we will be able to enable the individuals and the businesses alike. So we have been having a couple of enterprise customer since 6 years, 7 years as well. For example, ICL Line has been one of our good customer for quite some time. So when we looked into this market, we saw that the cloud adoption is relatively low. We can exclude some of the mail solutions. Apart from that, everything has been on-prem, and there was a very big gap between the SMEs and the enterprises. So the enterprises can go for the $1 million solutions of the big ERP solution and stuff, but there was no really lot of solutions for the SMEs. We see a lot of tech companies coming in from India, Europe, and all that. They provide custom solutions, but nobody covers the entire operations of any businesses. So that's why we realized, yes, there is still a good business potential. And then that's why we moved into the country since 2020.
Right. And actually your model is actually very unique, especially, your approach to building software in-house.
Yes.
And I think affordability is one of your biggest factor actually when you're building these products. How do these principles just, shape your strategy, especially for the Kenyan market?
Okay. So the interesting story to start with, when our co-founders and CEO, they've started the operations in the company initially, this is something that our CEO, co-founder also keeps saying it in some of the podcasts. So he just priced it the way we normally mark it up. Okay, my cost is so much, I want to, have so much of margin percentage, and this is my pricing. But after going to the market, he realized that it was so economical even for US market. So that's when we realized, yes, we can really give an affordable solution to our customers, while still making money. And then even today, we still follow the same, the pricing strategy across the globe. We are not like, okay, no, my competition is selling at, let's say, $100, I have to increase the price. No, it's my cost is so much, I want to sell it at so much. And especially in Africa again, we have our local offices in South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, and Egypt to cover east, west, north, and southern part of the continent. When we started when we planned to come into the local offices, the first on the pricing side, one of the main strategy that we said, we have to give some discounts. There are a lot of SMEs, and then it's not like even at that discount they may not be able to afford. So we started that we have to give anywhere between 20 to 25% discount from the global pricing. That was the number one thing. Number two, we also said wherever we are going to have offices, we want to give it in local price, local currency. So that's one of the things that no other software vendor has done it. Whether it is the global vendors or the regional vendors. If you look at any software vendors who doesn't build in Kenya, probably they would end up selling in dollars only. So we said it doesn't matter, so we need to sell it in shillings. So if our product is $1 globally, let's say $1.5 globally, we extended about 25% discount on that, which is almost like about 30 cents and stuff, and then we converted that into shillings. Also, the other thing is we don't want to change the price, whenever the currency fluctuates. Until we reach a threshold like, no, this is too much of loss, we have to change it. We are not going to do it. So I think that's the strategy that has been working very well. So both of them has worked. For the SMEs, we said it's in shillings, you can pay through M-Pesa and all that. So it made their life easier. And for the enterprises, the budget is in shillings. So this year I am budgeting for 3 million shilling or let's say $100,000, which is 129 million shilling, or and then next year I'm going to do the same $100,000, but my shillings budget is going to go high. That was not there. So I believe that is something that has really worked for us.
Right. I love you mentioned that, because I was just telling you often that I'm a Zoho user myself. In fact, we use Zoho in-house to do invoicing and all these things.
Right.
And it's one of the things I like about is the adaptability. Like right now I was just checking, I'm able to actually implement the new KRA e-teams and everything, and just do them all into one platform. Because I think that's one of the biggest challenges that most, let me call them your competitors, actually fail to do. Like, how do you actually add, should KRA just wake up one day, for example, and say, okay, we are introducing new taxes, we need you to raise invoice, for example, using e-teams like what they did the other time. How do we just make our users stay and tell them, okay, no, we actually do this as well, implement this into one platform.
Exactly. So this is something, again, two way of looking at it. One is that, yes, we want to give a holistic solution to our customers. If you look at the way you are saying it, you are not using all the 45 products of Zoho, are you?
No, just one.
Exactly. And that's also not a fully paid version. I believe Zoho Invoice has been free for quite some time. So it was made free during COVID period. So few was realized that yes, COVID has been very tough on the gig workers and then the consultants. So let's not charge for the invoicing alone. So when we come into a specific country, before that, giving the holistic solution for the businesses, we have been building individual products since 2000s. Right, so we started with CRM, and then we built books later, mail later, and so on. So it's not like some of the enterprise companies where we build one big ERP. If you have to buy everything. That was not the case with us. We started building one function at a time. So that's how now we are able to build 55 plus solutions. And then in this way, as a company, you want to adopt one solutions or 10 solutions or everything, all the 45 plus solutions, you can do the way you want to do it. So it's more like what we say is the building blocks. So that has been our idea all along. And the second thing is about the e-teams and others. Yes, we do. One of the reasons why we opened our local offices, before opening the offices, you guys are a SaaS guys, meaning like it can be accessed from anywhere. It's not like you're going to have physical goods or anything. Why do you have to open an office? This is the reason, yes, we have to go closer to our customers. Only then we will know their actual requirements. Maybe they have a problem, and then we have a support team seated in India, and then they don't understand the context of Africa or Kenya. I mean, Kenya is nowhere close to Nigeria, or Nigeria is nowhere close to South Africa. So that's the reason we said, no, we have to come into the country, and then we do build our local team who can understand the local context and sell it. Also, the part of it is the customization or localization. That's where we came in with e-teams, or even before e-teams, when the physical devices were there for Teams devices. Even that we have integrated. Now e-teams is integrated. Now the other best thing is, I'm not sure if you have familiar, the books is even integrated with M-Pesa. M-Pesa for if you want to do an STK prompt or a pay bill or by a till number, all that can be done from Zoho Books. Right, and not just that, wherever it is required in terms of the languages locally required. Within Africa, we have Arabs in Egypt. We have the locally multiple languages within Nigeria, and then multiple languages within South Africa and Kenya. So we try to have the support engineers as much as possible to speak multiple languages. We have like 5 people here in this office, and then they all speak majority of languages, whether it is Kikuyu or Swahili. So it helps the actual point of localization.
Right. It is. Now let's jump to the main theme actually of this podcast. It's about cloud.
Right.
I know Zoho utilizes cloud to having all these products actually. Cloud. I mean, there's no shortcut to that.
Absolutely.
And Kenya being a market with thousands and thousands of SMEs, right? All these SMEs actually, resource constrained. You need to talk about flexibility. You need to talk about pricing.
Absolutely.
How do you think actually cloud is actually changing how they operate?
Well, so there are 2 other things. Like SMEs still contribute close to 80 to 90% of private companies in Kenya.
Yeah.
And also they contribute bigger amount to GDP, about 38%, right? So that is some economy that has to be digitalized, right? So there is a huge opportunity for any companies. And then also the way you have explained, there is no other way to invest so much and all that.
I know.
But imagine when things like e-teams comes in, right? So how do these vendors can survive, the businesses can survive? Example, in our office, we have the food vendor who provides food, but they don't provide e-invoicing. So we support with them our Zoho books and then integrated with e-invoice, so they are able to do it, right? So when we moved into the country, there was a lot of reluctance for cloud adoption. Even with the SMEs, where is my data? How am I going to, access it? Is it going to be safe? Those basic queries. And not only that, nobody was ready to adopt in terms of financial applications or the customer data application. It's like, no, it's my data. Why should I put it in your cloud? Except mail, which was to some extent, it has been accepted at that point in time. But as we grow, as we keep talking about our products, that it's safety, as Zoho, we focus on the data privacy and security to a larger extent. We are GDPR compliant, we are POPIA compliant, so which means like to a larger extent, a larger requirement of Kenya's privacy policy is also covered within this. And then when the adoption started, also we were able to push the adoption because of the price point. And not just that, for the EC adoption, especially for the SMEs, we have multiple options in terms of like you can buy every month. And you can add or remove users whenever you want. See, for example, you have 5 people and then you're going on a specific project. I need CRM for this 1 month or project management for this 1 month. You can pay for 1 month for those 5 people and then stop it. Or you want to set up proper office, I want to buy for 2 years, that's also possible. So we work on a special pricing for 2 years. We can lock the pricing, the currency fluctuation is there. So we can say, no, we are not going to change it. We can lock the pricing and then we can support as well. So I think these are certain things helped. And then also we keep doing a lot of training. You have seen our training the room. So every month we keep doing one product or the other. So that also helps us. So I believe we just did not believe in advertisement in mass or do one a big FIFA sponsors, FIFA or something, and then get it done. So that's how we were able to build. I believe customers also accepted. Both the privacy and security that we guarantee, also the pricing is affordable.
Right. But I still believe there's still that perception that, especially from a lot of SMEs, when I talk to them, and some of them we have interviewed, there's still that perception that actually that cloud is just meant for large enterprises.
Okay. So that's interesting. Yes. That also when people talk about data centers, cloud technology, all that say yes. But when we say it in a different way, like, okay, fine, you don't have to do anything. You bring in your laptop, you get yourself connected to internet, open any browser, preferably Ola browser from Zoho, or any browser, just log into Zoho. You're good to go. So I get your point when we say it's all cloud technology, we'll talk about it. But when we start talking about the use case, like you don't need anything else. You need your mobile phone or your laptop to be connected to the internet, and then you're good to go. So I think that perception is still there in some pockets. And also if you look at some of the sensitive areas like the advocates and stuff, or hospitals to some extent, those areas are still a challenge where as much as we say, yes, it's cloud is secured and all that, we have challenges. We are not able to crack those areas. But in largely in general, yes, it's been, the reception has been better in the past few years.
The reception has been better. And of course, with this reception growing and the adoption growing as well, there are still concerns. You spoke about data privacy earlier on.
Right.
What would you say are some of these concerns and how is Zoho now approaching these concerns?
Okay, so to start with, especially on the data privacy and security, both of them, I'll give you something else. So when we decided it's going to be on cloud, and then that's what we want to do, the first thing that came in is like, yes, and if you know, we have free services on almost all the product. I mean, like if you're a small company, and then you want to use a Zoho Mail, yes, there is a free version for 3 users with the limited features. The same goes for CRM, accounting package, everything. Right. So when we started, the idea is like, okay, we are here to sell the business applications, not to sell customer data and make money. So we are very clear on what we want to sell. So that's the first, and initially when we started selling itself, it was made clear. Since that day, we don't sell customer data, we don't own their data. It's all they can do whatever they want to do. They want to delete the data and move on, or they want to add more data. It's all possible. That's something. Even the advertisement. If you are using free version or paid version or any of these Zoho products, you wouldn't see any third-party advertisement because you will see our own pop-ups and stuff coming in, but you will not see any third-party advertisement. So that's something we have been keen on privacy, and that's where we got compliant with GDPR and everyone else as well. And when it comes to data security, right, again, we are on cloud. If we going to use the third party, then we are not guaranteed of the security. We are relying on someone else. Right? That we did not want to do. So probably including the whichever country we are setting up our data centers, we set it up. It's all owned by Zoho. So from initial the infrastructure to building the software, building the security and everything is done by Zoho team. So it's not like, okay, fine, we'll ask one of the IT resellers to build our data centers. No, we have our own team. We know what products to buy. We know how to set it up. And then we have our own team doing the entire thing right from scratch to the complete data center up and running. And we have about 16 data centers across the globe to host customer data. Now, coming to data center security, we follow all the global standards, whatever the current, including ISO 27001 and so on. Plus, we also have our internal team, red, blue kind of stuff. Like somebody tries to attack or access our data in our data centers, the other team keeps blocking it. So this is some of the things that we keep continue to do it in terms of security as well. Also, we have our own internal auditing team who does periodical audits, and after that, we also give it to the external audit team to make sure that the security is taken care. So I believe that is something we keep talking. Of course, the question keeps coming in, but I'm happy that we have got some good enterprises in the region, including ICL Line or Pesa Power kind of companies. So hopefully, if you are able to bring in some more BFSI sector, then I think yes, we have a better case.
All right, let's zoom in a little bit. So based on what you're seeing across the region, how do you see actually cloud now shaping the future of work? Because I think in the way remote work since the pandemic and everything, how do you see actually cloud actually shaping the future of work?
That's going to be the future. I see one of the important thing as well. Like there were. There are mid-market, there is an enterprise, and then SMEs. SMEs are like 5 people, 10 people kind of stuff. And then we have the next one is about 50, 60 people. And then they are mostly into trading or reselling or building some specific solution and so on. And then we have the enterprises like bankers, financial institutions, and so on. So we also see a lot of changes with the 50, 60 people user companies removing their data centers, or if you go into any offices, you will see one big server rack and everything. So that is being reduced right now. With most of the vendors providing the SaaS services, including the firewall and everything, people don't really need those kind of a setup. So that's growing faster. Even on the hardware sales, generally, if you're looking at like the server sales and all that, the cloud is becoming better. The adoption of cloud is becoming better. And then in some places, companies like banking and the sensitive areas, they are open to adopting cloud technology in certain areas. Say for maybe not to store the customer data, but if it is email or if it is some simple ticketing system and or if it is email campaign, those are certain things that they are ready to adopt cloud solutions. So I believe the adoption is becoming better and better day by day. And then vendors are also supporting, and governments are also now coming up with policies for usage of cloud technology and then the usage of AI now. So I believe everyone is moving towards cloud.
Exactly. And actually, are there any Zoho tools that you're working on to really support these, support this evolving workforce?
Okay, so I would say every product has been there to support the evolving workforce, especially the hybrid model and all that. What we have added, I can talk about 2 products probably. We've added 2 recently. One is the Ula Enterprise. So Ula is our browser, web browser. You would have seen people use Chrome browser, other browsers. But when it comes to security and privacy, most of the customers don't even know what kind of a data they share on those browsers. But with Ula browser, that has been taken care well, that you will be able to set up, you want to block ads or you want to restrict the cookies and JavaScript and all that you can do it. So now we have launched an enterprise version also for the enterprises, whether they work on hybrid mode or on-prem mode, whichever way it is, meaning wherever they are, besides the other security methods, even the browser is well controlled with a lot of TLP features. And the IT people, right now if you look at it, Chrome cannot be controlled by IT people. They centrally seated somewhere. But with Ula Enterprise, the IT people can sit wherever they want, and then the customers, the users can be traveling anywhere or whatever. But the browser will take care of what kind of attachments they can download, what kind of websites they can visit, and so on. So that's one of the product. Second thing again, to focus on more SMEs as well as the enterprise alike is the AI infusion into our low code platform.
Yeah.
So a low code or no code platform is something that helps anyone to build a simple applications, your business applications and so on. So even you can build a CRM using these low code platforms. We have something called Zoho Creator. So that's our platform. And then with the recent infusion of AI into that, you are not, so from professional coding, typing and all that, we brought it down to drag and drag. Now we are changing that into just type your prompt. I want to build an application to set a, let's say, leave approval process. The platform, just use, that's what you do. Automatically it takes the data from wherever it wants. It will ask some questions. 10-15 minutes, you're good to go with an application.
Right. So, I love you mentioned AI. These days you can't really avoid AI.
Absolutely.
It's all over. So I'm glad you're using that as well. Maybe just as we almost come to an end. So for any enterprises, in Kenya, founders or business like ours, for example, who are thinking about moving to the cloud,
right,
what piece of advice would you actually give them?
Okay, especially for the enterprises, which many people don't understand really is, the enterprise owners, maybe the IT in charges, CTOs, CEOs, they might know, but the users, what they don't understand is the kind of a data they give it to the OpenAI. So something they should be very careful. Yes, adoption of AI, there is no doubt it has to be there. But while choosing it, there are so many things that they have to take care of it. One of the major things is privacy of their customers. Like there are some companies they can. The AI can run on the customer data and then give you a full-fledged view or whatever you want to have it. So imagine, let's say, a law firm using AI, right, OpenAI, and then they upload the contract onto AI to get suggestions. That data goes into OpenAI or Google or Microsoft, whoever it is. So that's something that they should be careful about. The same thing goes for any vendor contract or all those contracts. So the same way, even individuals are writing emails or every data goes into those people. So what we recommend, we have been especially with the AI, is that every enterprise should adapt to contextual intelligence more than the AI. It should be a contextual intelligence, which means like the AI should, the AI, how it works. It collects data from everywhere and then gives you whatever you want to know. So we should be contextual intelligent and specific to user with his rights and access role and everything. Say for example, I'm a sales manager. I want to know my sales data. I can write, okay, fine. Please give me a comparative report of last 3 months sales, and then I should be able to get my data. Right? So that is more of AI usage than using the OpenAI. So we should be more careful about how the privacy is being managed by each of those AI tools is something that every enterprise has to look into. Yeah,
because the concerns are actually there, and we've seen them actually. That's why even we've seen the government working on an AI task force and everything.
Exactly.
Because the concerns are there. Like when you feed that data, where is it going?
Absolutely. I see even there is a training program for Kenya government for the government employees on AI.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you so much, Veer. So as we end up, for anyone who wants to start with Zoho, actually, where should they start? How should they go about it?
Very good. So, where do I start now? So, just go on to Zoho.com.
Right?
So, if you know what you want to use, like Zoho Books or Zoho CRM, you can just go on like crm.zoho.com or books.zoho.com, sign up, and then we have a local people seated in this office who can reach out to you. So within 48 hours, our people will call you to understand your requirements, and then we will take you through the whole process of onboarding. Okay, maybe you have signed up for, let's say, CRM, but you really need is a Zoho desk for a ticketing system. So our advisory team will and the pre-sale team will advise you the right product, and then from there we can pick it up. So all that you have to do is just go online, just sign up. Or also we have our local offices. We have local numbers. You can call on that. What else? You can walk into our offices, and we do keep training or participating in multiple events, so you can visit there as well.
All right. Just before you end up, I saw there's a training room somewhere at the back. We're just checking out. What happens in there? One of the area, the way I said, we wanted to be closer to our customers. So even when we moved into these to the region, we realized even with the enterprises, there is a gap in terms of usage of the product. So that's what happens here is the training. So it's a full-fledged training. So depending on, like, we have a key account managers managing the big accounts. So they talk to them, they say, no, we want to have a training on this special activity, bring them here. And then we say, okay, we are launching e-teams, for example. Can we bring in our customers to teach them, bring them here? And then we can have multiple sessions for the same topic for multiple people to attend it, and then so on.
And then we also work with partnerships, different partners team who is selling Zoho product. So they want to bring in their customers, or we want to tell our partners, on our announcement and so on, bring them here. So it's all about whatever we can do to help our customers and partners. Yeah. That's what we do there.
And that happens every month?
Almost every week.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Veer.
Thank you.
Any closing remarks before we wind up?
Thank you. Hope to see you more traction and then more interaction with your team.
All right. Thank you so much for watching and so much for listening to this episode of the TechTrends Podcast. As you heard from the conversations about cloud technology and, of course, how players like Zoho are contributing to this, helping SMEs, enterprises, big or small, to just be part of this trend, so that we don't want all of them sitting on the fence. We naturally have a lot of these SMEs and big enterprises being part of the digital transformation that is happening in the country and take advantage of the cloud. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Nixon Kanali. I'll see you in the next episode.